Welcome. Today we're going to take a guided tour of a really practical tool, the Gender Action Plan, or GAP for short. If you've ever found yourself thinking, how do we turn all these good intentions about gender into actual concrete steps? Well, this is for you.
So let's start with the whole philosophy behind this thing, because it's really important. The guidance itself says it best. It's about being totally honest about where you are and what you can realistically achieve. It's absolutely not about just checking a bunch of boxes to say you're compliant. Here's a great way to think about it. The GAP is a map, not a test. Seriously, this isn't some pass-fail exam. It's a tool, a resource, designed specifically to help you navigate your own unique project landscape, figure out where you are right now, and then chart a real, workable course forward.
Okay, so what exactly is this map? Let's dig in and break down how the GAP actually works as a supportive tool for your project.
At its heart, the Gender Action Plan is basically a practical template. It's built to help your team write down what you're already doing, figure out where you could improve, and then track that progress. And that phrase, living document, that is so key. It's not a report you do once and then file away. It's meant to grow and evolve right along with your project.
And this is a really important distinction to make. The GAP is not some rigid, one-size-fits-all mandate that just piles on extra work. No way. It's a flexible guide that's meant to adapt to your specific context. And maybe most importantly, it's designed to build on the systems you already have in place. It respects your starting point, which is so critical when you've got partners with different capacities working in totally different realities on the ground. Okay, so let's get into the first big step. Before you even touch the details, you start by deciding on your destination.
And that can feel like a huge question, right? Where do we even begin? But what's so cool about the GAP is that the whole journey starts not with some massive to-do list, but with just one single principled decision about your project's main goal.
You get to choose one of three aspirational levels. Are you aiming for gender compliance, just making sure you've got those foundational policies locked in? Or maybe gender equality, focusing on making sure everyone has a real voice. Or perhaps you're aiming for gender equity, which is about tackling the root causes of inequality. And here's the thing. This isn't some rigid ladder where one is better than the others. They're all totally valid choices based on what's actually realistic for your project, right here, right now.
And you're not just pulling this choice out of thin air. It's grounded in the reality of where you're working. The GAP actually prompts you to think about everything, from the local laws and social norms to really practical stuff like internet access, safety concerns, and of course, the resources you actually have. It's all about being practical and principled.
All right, so we've picked our destination. Now let's take that quick tour of the GAP template itself and check out some of the key landmarks on this map.
And the whole thing, the entire tool, is built around this one really simple but honestly powerful idea. It honors the work you're already doing. It's structured to build on your existing efforts, not make you start everything from scratch.
The core logic here is so simple and smart. Every section asks you two basic questions. First, current status. What are you guys already doing? What's happening on the ground now? And second, planned actions. Okay, so where are you planning to go from here? It just brilliantly connects your starting point to the path forward.
So, using that current versus planned approach, the GAP guides you through these really key areas of analysis. You'll look at things like FPIC, that stands for Free, Prior, and Informed Consent, making sure communities are genuinely on board. It also covers PSCAH, which is protection from sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment. And you'll assess everything from how resources are used to who has access to information, all the way to your own team's capacity to actually do this work.
Okay, so this is all great analysis, right? But the really crucial part is, how do we turn all this thinking into actual manageable actions? Well, that's where the implementation framework comes in.
This is where it all gets real. This framework helps you build out a super clear action plan. It makes you define what you're going to do, who's going to do it, the timeline, the budget, and, this is a big one, what success actually looks like. It makes everything measurable and keeps everyone accountable.
All right, finally, let's talk about the long-term role of the GAP in your project. Because just filling out the template, that's really just the starting line.
So let's circle all the way back to where we started. The GAP is not a static report you file and forget. It's a dynamic tool for constant learning and reporting. The whole idea is to weave it into your existing project management cycles so it can actually grow and adapt right there with you and your work.
So here's the bottom line. The Gender Action Plan is designed to be a supportive, flexible ally for your team. It's a framework that respects where you are right now and helps you get to where you want to go. So the real question it leaves us with is this. What's the first, honest, constructive conversation this tool can help your team to start?